Hi, this is Mark Littleton, the minister of the Word for the Athens Church of Christ, with today's 3-minute sermon. I want to let y'all in on something that I challenged my church family to do this week and in the coming weeks that I think is something right now in our world that all of us really can be a part of doing. Right now, there are a lot of people who are going through some very difficult times. There are many people who are suffering physically. There are many who are suffering emotionally and spiritually. It's just a difficult time right now. There are a lot of people who are just discouraged and overwhelmed by what's going on in our world. What I challenged our church family here in Athens to do is, starting tomorrow, to take their church directory and each day maybe take a letter of the alphabet, take the A's, for example, and just pray for everybody that day whose last name begins with A. And then the next day, pray for those that begin with B and so forth. And I also challenged them, if while you're praying for these people, there's a particular person that you just feel burdened for, reach out to that person. Send them a text, give them a call, send them an email, send them a brief note of encouragement just to let them know you're thinking about them and that you are there for them if they need you. And I thought, that would be a good thing for all of us to be a part of. Let me challenge you today. If you are a part of a church family, take your directory for your church and just begin to go through that directory. Maybe take the A's one day like we're doing, or however you feel best to do it. And just begin to pray through that directory, praying for people, and then reaching out to those people that you feel a particular burden for. Maybe if you don't really have a church home and you don't have a church directory that you can feel connected with people enough to do that with, let me just challenge you, take your Facebook friend list. A lot of these people we have close relationships with. A lot of these people we may barely know, right? But take your Facebook friend list and just begin to pray through that list. Maybe the A's one day, the B's one day, and so forth. And if there's somebody in there you just feel burdened for, reach out to that person. Send them a private message and just say, hey, I was just thinking about you today. How are you doing? How are things going in your world? Is there anything that I can do to help you? I think that will make a huge difference. The Bible over and over again talks about how believers, how Christians are to love one another and encourage one another. And there's so many one another passages in Scripture. And right now we're struggling to do the one another's because we're not able to be around one another as much or in the same way as we once were able to do. But we can still practice the one another's, and we can still make a difference in people's lives. So that's my challenge to you today, friend. Will you jump on board the prayer project with me? If you will, just indicate in the comments and say, you know what, Mark, that's something I think I can get on board with. I'm going to begin to do that today. Let me know you're doing it, and we can encourage each other as we encourage other people as well. Lord willing, we'll see you again tomorrow for another 3-minute sermon. God bless.